Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is 𝐕𝐫𝐵𝐵𝐿𝐿, and in this video, I'll explain you how to monitor your virtual machines and Docker containers using Prometheus and Grafana. So here you can see this is the architecture right now we are going to follow. So first we are going to create three different virtual machines on Google Cloud, and in two virtual machines we are going to install Docker, and we are going to run some of the Docker containers, and in virtual machine 1 we are going to run two different Docker containers, and in virtual machine 2 we are going to run three different types of Docker containers, guys. Okay, and we are going to SSH into this third virtual machine, and there we are going to install Prometheus and Grafana. Okay, and after that we are going to SSH into this virtual machine 1 and in virtual machine 2, and here we are going to install node exporter and cAdvisor. So here you can see this orange color logo is nothing but this is node exporter, guys. Okay, so this node exporter will collect all the metrics related to our virtual machines like CPU information, memory information, RAM, and how much file system we have, how much network is going, how much network is coming. It will collect all the metrics related to our virtual machine. And here you can see owl symbol. So this is cAdvisor. So cAdvisor is nothing but container advisor. So this cAdvisor collect all the metrics related to our Docker containers, like how many Docker containers are running, how much CPU utilization it was having, how much memory utilization it was having, how much network is going and how much network is coming, so how many stopped containers we have, how many running containers we have, like that it will collect all the metrics. This cAdvisor will collect all the metrics, guys. Okay, so after setting up this node exporter and in cAdvisor in these two virtual machines, we are going to SSH into this third virtual machine, and there we are going to write prometheus.yaml file. In prometheus.yaml file we are going to write the scrap information. Scrapping information is nothing but we are going to write this node exporter information and cAdvisor information. So this node exporter will send all the metrics related to our virtual machine, and this cAdvisor will send all the metrics related to our Docker containers that are running in this virtual machine. Prometheus will scrap all the data, and Grafana will scrap all the data from Prometheus, guys. Okay, so in Grafana we are using data source as a Prometheus. So using that data source, Grafana will scrap all the data from Prometheus. Okay, at last output will be like this, guys. Okay, so here you can see this is the Prometheus dashboard. So here in status, in targets, you can see. So in targets, you can see cAdvisor virtual machine 1 and cAdvisor virtual machine 2, node exporter virtual machine 1 and node exporter virtual machine 2. So here node exporter virtual machine 1 is nothing but we have installed node exporter in virtual machine 1, right? So we have installed node exporter in virtual machine 1 as well as in virtual machine 2. So this node exporter is collecting all the metrics related to our virtual machine, and Prometheus is collecting all the metrics from node exporter that is related to our virtual machines, guys. So here you can see this is the Prometheus in targets you will find. So same like cAdvisor. So from Prometheus, Grafana is scraping all the data. So here you can see currently it is scraping from virtual machine 2. So these are the metrics related to our Docker containers. So running Docker containers are currently 4 Docker containers. So let's SSH into this virtual machine 2. So here you can see currently we are in Docker virtual machine 2. So when I select here Docker ps-a. So here you can see currently we have 4 Docker containers up and running. Okay. So same here you can see it was showing 4 Docker containers. So this is how it will display. So now using node exporter we are going to collect all the metrics related to our virtual machine, right? So now here you can see now let's directly select here node exporter full view. So here in data source, I'm going to select Prometheus. So using Prometheus, I'm going to scrap all the data. So here you can see, if you want to monitor virtual machine 1, you can directly select here node exporter virtual machine 1. And here you can see right now in my Google Cloud, I was running two different virtual machines. So here you can see 34.41.148.36. So this is virtual machine 1. So if I select virtual machine 1, so here you can see 34.41.148.36. That is virtual machine 1, guys. So here you can see 148.36 means virtual machine 1. So these are all the metrics related to my virtual machine 1. So I will select last 5 minutes and I will monitor for every 5 seconds. So here you can see now for every 5 seconds it will scrap the data from Prometheus. Okay, so here you can see continuously it was monitoring like CPU, system load, RAM used, root file system, everything. So if you want to monitor it for virtual machine 2, you can directly select your virtual machine 2. So here you can see IP has been changed. At last you can see 183.66. So here you can see 183.66. So this is the virtual machine 2. At last you will see output same like this, guys. Okay, so now let's implement this everything from scratch. So here you can see from scratch, let's implement this everything. So before implementing this, let's terminate this entire this three virtual machines. Let's terminate. So previously for displaying this, I created this everything, guys, to show you the output and everything. So now I will terminate these three virtual machines. That means I'm going to delete these three virtual machines. So I'm going to select these three virtual machines, and I'm going to select here delete and delete. So I will close this two. I'm going to close this Prometheus as well as Grafana. Okay, I'm going to refresh this. So now let's create first let's create these two virtual machines, and let's install Docker, and let's run five Docker containers, and two Docker containers are in virtual machine one, and three Docker containers are in virtual machine two. Let's do this. Okay, so let's come here and let's remove these three, and let's come here and let's refresh this. Okay, so meanwhile let's select here create instance. And first we need to use the virtual machine name. Okay, so here I'm giving the name like Docker VM1, and let's select here machine configuration E2. It comes with 2 CPUs and 4 GB of memory, guys. Okay, so when it comes to boot disk, here I'm going to select Ubuntu, and I'm going to 10 GB and select, and I'm going to firewalls allow HTTP and HTTPS, and in advanced options and in networking. So previously I created a custom VPC, so I'm going to use that custom VPC, my VPC. Okay, so I'm going to use my custom subnet, which is subnet A. So I'm going to select here create. Okay, so now let's create one another virtual machine. I will remove this, and here Docker VM2. And when it comes to machine configuration, here also I'm going to select E2 medium, and here boot disk, here I'm going to select Ubuntu, and I'm going with 10 GB and select. And when it comes to firewalls, here I'm going to select allow HTTP and allow HTTP less traffic. And when it comes to advanced options, here in networking, so here also I'm going to select my custom VPC. So here you can see network interfaces, you need to select that. And here I'm going to select my custom VPC, which is my VPC, and this is the subnet. And here I'm going to select directly create. So here you can see currently I created two different virtual machines, right? So here you can see up to now we created two different virtual machines. So now we are going to access into these two virtual machines, and we are going to install Docker, and after that we are going to run some of the Docker containers there. Okay, so let's SSH into this. Directly select your SSH. Select your authorize. So here you can see it was connected to our virtual machine. So now first we need to update our virtual machine by using sudo apt update -y. It will update our virtual machine, and sudo su to become root user. Okay, so currently I don't have here Docker, guys. Okay, Docker version. So here you can see we don't have Docker. So now let's install Docker from official documentation. So directly select here install Docker on Ubuntu. Open this first link and copy this repository, and open this and paste it here. So this is the virtual machine one, guys. So here you can see Docker VM1. So this is the virtual machine one. Select here Y. Okay, so Docker version. Okay, sudo apt install docker.io -y. So it will install Docker. So meanwhile, let's connect to virtual machine 2. So this is my Docker virtual machine 2. I'm going to SSH into this virtual machine. So still it is going to install. So let's wait. And after completing this, we are going to create one another Docker, one another virtual machine, and there we are going to install Prometheus and Grafana. And while creating this Prometheus and Grafana, that means while installing this Prometheus and Grafana, I will explain you what is Prometheus and what is Grafana and what is Node Exporter and what is cAdvisor and everything. I will explain you guys from scratch. Okay. So first let's install this everything. Okay. So now let's select your Docker version. So okay, spelling mistake. Docker version. So here you can see my Docker is running. My Docker version is 24.0.7. So if you want to see only Docker version, simply select here Docker version. So here you can see it was this. So now let's connect to virtual machine 2. Directly select here authorize. So meanwhile, let's come here and let's copy this entire repository and let's come to virtual machine 2. So okay, so first we need to update our virtual machine by hitting sudo apt update -y. So it will update our virtual machine. And here we need to come to root user by hitting sudo su. Okay. So now here I'm going to install Docker. Okay, sudo apt install docker.io-y. So it will install Docker, guys. So let's wait. So meanwhile, let's create one another virtual machine for Prometheus and Grafana. So here you can see right now we are going to create one another virtual machine for Prometheus and Grafana. To avoid some time, guys. Okay, select here create instance, and here I'm going to select Prometheus and Grafana. Prometheus and Grafana. Okay, so here I'm going to select here E2 medium. It comes 2 CPUs and 4 GB of memory, guys. So it is enough. So when it comes to boot disk, here also I'm going to select operating system as Ubuntu, and here I'm going with 15 GB and directly. So let's wait. It is loading. So meanwhile, let's come here. So here you can see it was installed. So Docker version. So here you can see our Docker is installed. So if you want to see only Docker version, simply hit here Docker version. Okay. So here you can see this is the Docker version 24.0.7. Okay. So now let's clear the screen. So in these two virtual machines, Docker is in up and running. So first let's create this virtual machine. Select here, select. Okay. And here I'm going to allow HTTP and HTTPS traffic. And in advanced options and in networking, here I'm going to give my custom VPC, which is my VPC, and this is the subnet A. Okay, and here I'm going to select directly create. So okay, Prometheus and Grafana virtual machine is going to create. So meanwhile, let's open this readme file and I will provide you entire readme file, guys. Okay, so here you can see this is the command to run nginx docker container. Okay, so in first docker container I'm going to run two different virtual machines. So here you can see we are in docker VM1. Okay, so let's paste it here. So here you can see docker VM1, so virtual machine 1. So after that, let's run one another docker container, which is MySQL database docker container. So you can run whatever you want, guys. You can run the docker containers whatever you want. So here we are going to monitor the right. So that's why I'm going to run this docker containers. So let's wait. In virtual machine run, let's run two different Docker containers, and in virtual machine 2, let's run three different Docker containers. Okay, so let's wait and let's clear the screen, and here let's select here docker ps-a. So this is the command to run all the stopped containers and running containers in our that means it is used to display all the stopped containers and running containers, guys. Docker ps-a. So here you can see currently two Docker containers are up and running, so that's why it was showing these two Docker containers. So now let's run three different Docker containers in virtual machine 2. So this is the Redis Docker container. So so here you can see this is the Docker VM 2. That means this is the virtual machine 2. I'm going to paste it here and I'm going to select here enter. Okay. And now let's select here MongoDB database Docker container. And I'm going to paste it here and enter. And let's run one another Docker container, which is Nginx Docker container. Let's wait. Okay. So now this is the third Docker container. Okay. Now Docker ps-a. So here you can see currently in virtual machine 2, we are running three Docker containers, and in virtual machine 1, we are running two different Docker containers. Okay. So in same, we are going to follow this architecture, guys. Okay. In virtual machine 1, we are going to run two different Docker containers, and in virtual machine 2, we are going to run three different Docker containers. So now we are going to SSH into this Prometheus and Grafana virtual machine, and there we are going to install Prometheus and Grafana. Okay. So let's come here. So here you can see this is the one. So directly select your SSH and let's maximize this. Okay. So this is the one, Prometheus and Grafana one. So let's wait. Okay. Let's wait. So meanwhile, I will select here authorize. Okay. So now it will connect to this Prometheus and Grafana virtual machine. Okay. Leave this. So now I will explain you what is Prometheus and what is Grafana. So I have written a README file for this, guys. Okay. So here you can see this is the Prometheus and this is the Grafana. Okay, so now let's open this once. Okay, so now up to now we installed two different Docker containers. That means we created three different Docker containers, and in two Docker containers we installed Docker, and we have running two Docker containers in virtual machine 1 and three Docker containers in virtual machine 2. Okay, so after that we created one another virtual machine for Prometheus and Grafana, but we haven't installed Prometheus and Grafana. So before installing this Prometheus and Grafana, I will explain you what is Prometheus and what is Grafana and what is node exporter and what is cAdvisor, and I will explain you each and everything, guys. So firstly, Prometheus. So here you can see I have written a documentation for this. Prometheus is nothing but Prometheus is an open source monitoring and alerting tool. It helps you to monitor the performance and health of your applications by infrastructure by collecting metrics from different systems, guys. Okay. So here you can see Prometheus is nothing but Prometheus is an open source monitoring and alerting tool, guys. So okay, Prometheus it helps you to monitor the performance and health of your applications by infrastructure by collecting metrics from different types of systems, guys. Okay, so this is the system one, and this is the virtual machine one, and this is the virtual machine two. So here you can see red color logo. This is the node exporter, and this is the owl symbol. This is the cAdvisor. So we are going to install node exporter, and we are going to run cAdvisor container in this two virtual machines, right? So this node exporter, orange color symbol is node exporter, guys. So this node exporter will collect all the metrics related to our virtual machine, like CPU information, memory information, RAM, how much memory we have, how much storage file system we have, how much network is going, how much network is coming. This node exporter will collect all the metrics related metrics information to our virtual machine one. And this cAdvisor, in the name you can understand, cAdvisor is nothing but container advisor. This container advisor will collect all the metrics information related to our Docker containers, which are running in these virtual machines, guys. Okay. So now we are going to use Prometheus. So Prometheus will collect all the metrics of our virtual machine using node exporter, and Prometheus will collect all the metrics related to our Docker containers. That means how many Docker containers are running, how much network is going and how much network is coming. That metrics related information this cAdvisor will collect. So okay, in Prometheus.yaml file, we need to write all the information. Okay. So once let's come here. So here you can see metrics are the data points that represents various activities like CPU usage, memory and consumption, disk inputs and outputs, etc. Previously I told you like Prometheus will collect. So here you can see. Okay. Prometheus will collect metrics from node exporter. So this node exporter will collect all the metrics like CPU information, memory information, RAM, and CPU workload, and how much storage we have, how much file system we have, and how much network is going, and how much network is coming. All the metrics it will collect cAdvisor. Same, node exporter will collect all the metrics information related to our virtual machines, and cAdvisor will collect all the metrics related to our Docker containers. Okay. So here you can see Prometheus collects this data for a regular interval, so stores in a time series database, guys, TSDB. So Prometheus will collect all the metrics and it will store in a TSDB, which is time series database. Okay, and this is all about Prometheus, guys. So the main key features of Prometheus is it collects metrics on multiple systems. Okay, so it stores all the metrics in a TSDB, time series database. Okay, so this is the main advantage of Prometheus, and one other advantage is it collects. It has alerting capabilities when certain conditions are met. Okay, these are the main features of Prometheus. So now I will explain you Grafana. Okay, so here you can see Grafana is nothing but Grafana is a visualization tool that works with Prometheus to display the metrics collected in the way it's easy to understand. It creates beautiful customized dashboards where you can see the performance of your systems at glance. Okay, so here you can see Prometheus will collect all the metrics on Node Exporter and cAdvisor, and Grafana will collect all the metrics on Prometheus, guys. Okay, so in Grafana we are going to uh, select select data source as a Prometheus. So using that data source, Grafana will collect all the metrics on Prometheus, and finally we will display an output same like this. So previously I shown you an output, guys. Okay, so I terminated that virtual machines. Okay, now, so the key features of Prometheus is data visualization through interactive dashboards. That means it will display in a beautiful way, like CPU information, memory information, everything. It will display in a beautiful way. So, Grafana works with different types of data sources. Okay. So, right now in this video, we are going to use data source as a Prometheus. Okay. So, I have created a video on how to collect all the CPU memory information to our AWS EC2 instance using Grafana. So there we use a data source as a CloudWatch. Okay, CloudWatch will collect all the metrics, and from CloudWatch we are going to scrap all the data from. Grafana will scrap all the data from that CloudWatch. Okay, we have created that video. If you haven't watched that video, please watch that video. So now let's SSH into this virtual machine and let's install Prometheus and let's install Grafana. Okay, so now let's come here and let's here you can see this is my virtual machine 3. So when I select here hostname hyphen I, so here you can see 10.0.0.51. So here you can see this is the third virtual machine 10.0.0.51. This is our Prometheus and Grafana VM. So here we are going to install Prometheus and Grafana. So I have written a documentation for this. So here you can see first we need to download the Prometheus package. So this is the link for that. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to come here and I'm going to paste it here and enter. So it will get that Prometheus latest package, and let's select here ls. So here you can see this is the package. So we need to extract this. Okay. So now tar xvf and here Prometheus package 1. Okay. And it was completed. Okay, and ls. So here you can see it was extracted. So now we need to move all these binaries. So okay, it was gone. So we need to move all the binaries to user local bin. Okay, so let's come here and let's copy this command and let's paste it here. So here you can see this command sudo move. So this command will move this Prometheus to user local bin. Okay. So now let's come here and let's copy this and let's paste it here. So now this command will move this from tool to user local bin. Okay. So now we need to configure files with necessary directories, guys. So we need to create a directory like etc Prometheus on varlib Prometheus, and we need to move prometheus.yaml file to etc Prometheus and consoles to etc Prometheus. So I'll show you that, guys. So here you can see now we need to uh, create a necessary directory. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here and enter. So it will create directory like etc Prometheus on varlib Prometheus. Okay. So now let's copy this command and let's paste it here. So we are going to move this prometheus.yaml file to etc Prometheus. Okay. So again let's come here and let's copy this and let's paste it here. So now we are going to move this consoles to etc Prometheus. Okay. So at last let's copy this. Let's paste it here and enter. So we are going to move this console libraries to etc Prometheus. Okay. So now let's clear the screen. So now we are going to create a Prometheus and Prometheus user and Prometheus group. Okay. So this is the command to create Prometheus user as well as Prometheus group. So I'm going to paste it here. Okay. So now here I'm going to copy this. It will create a Prometheus group. I think already it will be created. So here you can see already it has been created. So up to now we created a Prometheus user and Prometheus group, right? So now we need to give ownership permissions to Prometheus user and Prometheus group to user local bin Prometheus, guys. Okay. So here you can see sudo 𝐶𝐻-R. So we are going to give ownership permissions to Prometheus user and we are going to give group permissions to Prometheus. Okay. To user local bin Prometheus. So I'm going to copy this entire thing and I'm going to paste it here and enter. So I'm going to give ownership permissions to Prometheus user and Prometheus group to user local bin Prometheus. So same I'm going to give to user local bin prom tool. Okay, I'll paste it here and enter. And again, now I'm going to give to etc Prometheus. I'll paste it here. So now I'm going to give Prometheus user and Prometheus give permissions to etc Prometheus. At last, I'm going to give to varlib Prometheus. Okay, I'll paste it here and enter. So here you can see we are going to give Prometheus user and Prometheus group permissions to varlib Prometheus. Okay, so now we need to write Prometheus systemd service file, guys. Okay, this is the one. Okay, so we need to go to this path sudo. Let's clear the screen. Okay, sudo vim/etc/systemd. Okay, and here system and here Prometheus.service. Okay, you need to go to this path and here you need to write the Prometheus systemd service file. Okay, so now I will come here and I'll copy this and here I'm going to paste it here. So now I will explain you this Prometheus. That means I'm going to explain you this systemd service file. Okay, so here you can see first thing is unit description. So description is nothing but this is the short description of the service, guys. So in this case we call it as a label, guys. Okay. So this is the official documentation link of our Prometheus. So if I copy this and if I paste it in a web, so here you can say I'm going to paste it here and enter. It will redirect to Prometheus official documentation, guys. Okay, here you can see this is the Prometheus official documentation. So this is the link. So now let's come here. So here you can see after is equal to network dot target. So here after is equal to network dot target is nothing but this ensures that the Prometheus starts only after the network has been initialized, guys. Okay. So now this is the very important thing. So service. So previously we created Prometheus user and Prometheus group, right? So here I'm going to use that Prometheus user as well as Prometheus group. Okay. So here type I'm going to use simple and exe start. So you can see user local bin Prometheus. So this is the path of our Prometheus binary files, guys. Okay, this is the path of our Prometheus. This is the path of our Prometheus binary files. Okay, so here you can see hyphen config etc prometheus.yaml file. So in prometheus.yaml file, we need to write our scrap information from where we need to scrap our data. So here you can see here in prometheus.yaml file, we need to write the scrap configuration data like node exporter and cAdvisor data we need to write in prometheus.yaml file. Okay, so now let's come here. So here you can see storage tsdb. So Prometheus will collect all the metrics and it will store in a time series database, guys. Okay, which is tsdb. Okay, so this is the path. So now let's save this. Now sudo systemctl daemon reload. So now sudo systemctl start Prometheus. So we are going to start our Prometheus and we are going to enable our Prometheus and we are going to see the status of our Prometheus whether it is running or not. So here you can see our Prometheus service is active and running and it is in enabled state, guys. Okay. So now let's check this from this escape shift colon WQ to exit. So current by default Prometheus will run under the port of 9090, guys. Okay. So now we need to copy this Prometheus external IP and paste it in a web and we need to access with port 9090. So Prometheus will run under the port of 9090. So you need to access with port 9090. Okay. So if it was not accepting means directly select here http colon slash slash and enter. So here you can see this is the Prometheus dashboard. So our Prometheus is active and running. So now here you can see up to now we set up the Prometheus. Now we need to set up Grafana, guys. So we need to get Grafana repository. So I will come here. So this is the command to get Grafana repository. I will copy this and I will clear the screen and I will paste it here and enter. Okay. So after that we need to get this Prometheus GPG key. Let's wait. Still it is getting that repository. Okay, let's clear the screen. So we need to paste that GPG key here. So status here you can see it was showing okay. So once let's update this VM sudo apt update. Okay, after that we need to install Grafana. Now sudo apt install Grafana -y. So now it is going to install Grafana. After that, we are going to start Grafana server and we are going to enable Grafana server and we are going to see the status of our Grafana server. So by default, this Grafana server will run under the port of 3000, guys. Okay. So let's wait. It is still, it is going to get that GP. Still it is an updating state, guys. Okay, so let's wait. That means still it is going to install this Grafana. So meanwhile, let's check my internet speed. I think my internet connectivity is bit low. Speed test, run speed test. Okay, I think my internet connectivity is also good. So let's wait. Okay, it was installed. So now, so okay, Grafana has been installed. So we need to start Grafana. So sudo systemctl start Grafana hyphen server. We need to enable this Grafana server, and we need to see the status of our Grafana server. Okay, so here you can see my Grafana is in up and running and it is in enabled state, guys. Okay, so now let's exit from this escape shift colon WQ. Now let's access this Grafana dashboard with port 3000. Grafana by default runs under the port of 3000. Okay, so now let's copy this external IP and open a new tab, paste it here with port 3000. So Grafana by default runs under the port of 3000. So let's do one thing. So okay, here you can see it was connected. So the initial username and password of Grafana is admin, and here also admin. Okay, password is admin and login. So now it will ask to rechange. Okay, select OK. So now new password is Vijay and confirm password is Vijay and submit. Okay, so here you can see this is the Grafana dashboard. So up to now here you can see we install Prometheus and Grafana. So now let's establish the communication between Prometheus and Grafana. So previously I told you like we are using in Grafana we are using data source as Prometheus, right? So I will show you that. So now let's come here and directly go to connections, and here we need to select here Prometheus, and here you need to select add new data source, and data source has been added. So here you need to give the Prometheus IP address, guys. Okay, so my Prometheus is running on this IP address. We will copy this. I'll come here and I'll paste it here and I'll remove slash at the end. And here I'm going to select save and test. So here you can see successfully queried the Prometheus API. That means successfully it is communicating with Prometheus API. Okay. So now we can directly build our dashboards. So before building these dashboards, we need to connect to these two virtual machines, and in these virtual machines we need to install Node Exporter and cAdvisor. Okay. So this Node Exporter will scrap all the data related to our virtual machines, and this cAdvisor will scrap all the data related to our Docker containers which are running in these virtual machines, guys. Okay, after installing this we need to connect to this virtual machine again, virtual machine 3, and in prometheus.yml file we need to write this graph configuration in prometheus.yml file. Okay, so now let's install this node exporter and cAdvisor in these two virtual machines. So now I will go to this documentation once again. So here you can see this is the command to get node exporter repository. I will come to this virtual machine 1. So here you can see this is the Docker virtual machine 1. So in Docker, in these two virtual machines, we are going to install Prometheus and Node Exporter and cAdvisor. Okay, so I'll paste it here, and again I'll extract this by using this command. Sorry, this is the virtual machine 2 and this is the virtual machine 1. Okay, first let's set up in virtual machine 1 and later let's set up in virtual machine 2. So extract has been completed. So now we are going to move this node exporter to user local bin. Okay, and I'm going to paste it here. So now we need to write system d service file for this node exporter service. So we need to go to this path vim/etc/systemd, and here system, and here node exporter dot service. So you need to give like this and directory set here, enter, and keep this in insert mode. And this is the systemd configuration file. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here and I'm going to save this. So now let's escape shift colon WQ. Wow. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's copy this path and let's come to virtual machine 1. Let's clear the screen. Let's paste it here and enter. Keep this in insert mode. And I will copy this systemd service file and I'm going to paste it here and let's save this. Okay, now it was saved. Okay, so now we need to uh, do sudo systemctl daemon reload. So now we need to start our node exporter by hitting sudo systemctl start node exporter, and we need to enable this node exporter, and let's see the status of our node exporter. So here you can see currently my node exporter is up and running and it is in enabled state. So by default node exporter will run on the port of 9100 guys. Okay, so let's come here and in virtual machine 1 we install node exporter, right? So let's copy this external IP and let's access with port 9100. Okay, HTTP. So here you can see node exporter, it was going to access, and let's select here matrix slash matrix. So here you can see it was going to slash matrix. So here you can see these metrics are related to our virtual machines. Okay, so here you can see node exporter is collecting, we install node exporter in virtual machine 1, right? So now node exporter is collecting all the metrics of our virtual machine like CPU information, memory information, RAM and everything. So here you can see these are all the metrics. So these are all the metrics. Now in Prometheus.yaml file we are going to write this scrap information and we are going to scrap all these metrics to Prometheus. So from Prometheus Grafana will scrap all the metrics and it will visualize in a beautiful way, guys. Okay, so now let's remove this. Now let's come here. Let's run cAdvisor Docker container. Okay. Let's copy this and let's come to virtual machine 1 and let's paste it here. Sorry, just a second. Okay. So it will pull from the Docker registry, guys. So when I select here Docker ps-a, so here you can see my cAdvisor container is up and running and it is running on port 8080, guys. Okay. So now if you want to access the cAdvisor, you can directly copy external IP of your virtual machine 1, Docker virtual machine 1, and you can directly access with port 8080, enter. So here you can see cAdvisor container advisor. So here you can see cAdvisor, which is container advisor. So now this container advisor will track all the metrics of our Docker containers which are running in this virtual machine, guys. So in this virtual machine we are running this cAdvisor container, right? So this cAdvisor container will collect all the metrics of our Docker containers, like how many Docker containers are running, what is the CPU utilization, what is the memory utilization, what is the file system information, and what how much traffic is going, how much traffic is coming, everything it will collect. So now what we are going to do is like we are going to write in Prometheus.yaml file this node exporter information as well as cAdvisor information. Then Prometheus will collect all the metrics from node exporter and cAdvisor and Grafana will scrap all the metrics from Prometheus. It will display same like this, guys. Okay. Once again, I'm telling you, this node exporter will collect all the metrics of our virtual machine, and this cAdvisor will collect all the metrics of our Docker containers which are running in this virtual machine. Okay, so up to now we have set up in this virtual machine 1, and now we are going to set up in virtual machine 2 this node exporter and this cAdvisor. So let's remove this and let's come here and let's copy this once again. This is the command to export our node exporters. Okay, so this is the virtual machine 2. So here you can see Docker VM 2. I'm going to paste it here and enter. So now I'm going to extract this. So here you can see first command, it will get the repository, and after that we are going to extract that and we are going to move that node exporter one to user local pin. Okay, so I'm going to paste it here and enter. Okay, it was completed. So now we need to write a systemd service file for this node exporter. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to move to virtual machine 2 and I'm going to paste it here and I'll keep this in insert mode and I'll copy this and I'm going to paste it here and I'll save this file. So now let's do sudo systemctl daemon reload and sudo systemctl start node exporter. So here I'm going to enable this node exporter and I'm going to see the status of my node exporter. So here you can see my node exporter is in active and running and it is in enable state. Okay. So now let's see whether the matrix is coming or not. My node exporter is running on port 9100, guys, by default. So let's copy this virtual machine to external IP and let's access with port 9100. Okay, it's select metrics. So here you can see these are all the metrics related to our virtual machine like CPU information, memory information, RAM related to our virtual machine 2. Okay, so now let's run cAdvisor Docker container. Let's copy this. So currently in this virtual machine we are going to run 3 different Docker containers. So now we are going to run 4th Docker container, which is cAdvisor Docker container. So now Docker ps-a. So here you can see this is the 4th Docker container, which is cAdvisor Docker container, and it is running on port 8000. So now this cAdvisor Docker container will collect all the metrics related to our Docker containers, like how many Docker containers are running, what is the CPU information, what is the memory information, how much traffic is going, how much traffic is coming. It will collect all the metrics, guys. Okay. So now let's access this. Let's come here. Copy this virtual machine to external IP and you need to access with port 8080. So here you can see cAdvisor container advisor. So it is monitoring our Docker container CPU information, memory information, how much containers is running, what is the how much network is going, how much network is coming, everything this cAdvisor will collect. Okay. So now let's remove this too. So here you can see up to now we created these 3 virtual machines and we installed Docker and we installed we are running 2 Docker containers in virtual machine 1 and 3 Docker containers in virtual machine 2. After that we created third virtual machine and there we installed Prometheus and Grafana, and after that we SSH into these 2 virtual machines and we installed node exporter and cAdvisor. So this node exporter will collect all the metrics of our virtual machine and the cAdvisor will collect the Docker containers metrics on this virtual machine. Okay, so now Up to here it was completed. Now we are going to write, we are going to access it into this third virtual machine, that means Prometheus and Grafana virtual machine. And here we are going to write prometheus.aml file. So in prometheus.aml file we are going to write the scrap information, scrap configuration information. Okay, so now here you can see this is the Prometheus hyphen Grafana virtual machine. So now here you need to go to this path sudo pam /etc/Prometheus, and here you need to go to this file prometheus.aml file, select here, enter. So I will remove this entire configuration escape 100D, and I will keep this in insert mode. And already I have written that scrap configuration file, guys. I will show you that. Okay, I will copy this and I will explain you this entire file, and I'm going to paste it here. So here you can see this is the prometheus.aml file, guys. Okay, you need to remember this. So this is the prometheus.aml file, global scrap information, scrap interval. For every 15 seconds Prometheus will scrap the data from node exporter and as well as from cAdvisor. Okay, so here you can see scrap configs. Job name. Here you can see we have given node exporter virtual machine 1. So in virtual machine 1, we have installed node exporter as well as we installed cAdvisor. So in virtual machine 2 also we install node exporter and we installed cAdvisor, right? So this node exporter will collect all the metrics related to our virtual machine, and this cAdvisor will collect all the metrics related to our Docker containers which are running in this virtual machine only, guys. Okay. So now we are going to write this to scrap configuration prometheus.aml file. So let's come here and let's copy VM1 external IP. So in this virtual machine 1, my node exporter and cAdvisor is running, and in virtual machine 2 also my node exporter and cAdvisor is running. So now I'm going to copy this external IP to external IP of virtual machine 1, and I'm going to prometheus.aml file, and here you can see in targets I'm going to remove this, and here let's wait, it was stucking, guys. So let's wait. So let's try to reconnect, or else let's close this and let's type this here SSH. So again, meanwhile, let's copy this, select here authorize. Okay, so now let's go to this path prometheus.aml file. Okay, escape 100D, shift, and I'm going to keep this in insert mode, and I'm going to copy this scrap configuration file, and here I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so here you can see global. For every 15 seconds, it will scrap the data from node exporter and from cAdvisor. Okay, so here you can give the name whatever you want. So I'm giving that node exporter virtual machine 1. So from virtual machine 1, my node exporter is running on port 9100, right? So that one is 9100, and we need to give the external IP of our virtual machine 1. So this is the Docker VM 1, and I'm copy this external IP, and here I'm going to paste it here, guys. Paste. So here same for cAdvisor. My cAdvisor is running on this port, so I will paste this. Okay, so here you can see global for every 15 seconds Prometheus will scrap the data from node exporter and from cAdvisor. So here you can see scrap configs. So in this IP, my node exporter is running, Prometheus is we are telling to Prometheus like go to this IP and collect from node exporter. So here you can say I'm going to copy this. When I paste it in web, here it will redirect to, sorry, let's come here, let's copy this up to here, copy this. Okay, let's come to web and let's paste it here and enter. So here you can see node exporter metrics. So these are all the metrics related to our virtual machine 1. So now if you want to see for virtual machine 2, so sorry, that means cAdvisor, you can directly copy up to here and you can directly paste in web and enter. So here you can see it was opening cAdvisor. So here you can see cAdvisor. Now you can understand in Prometheus.yaml file we are going to write this graph information like so. Prometheus will go to this paths and from node exporter it will collect all the metrics related to our virtual machine. From cAdvisor it will collect all the metrics of our Docker containers. Okay. So now here we need to use the node exporter VM2 external IP. I am going to remove this. And here I will come here and I will copy this Docker VM2 external IP and I'll paste it here. So this is the node exporter one and this is the cAdvisor one related to our virtual machine 2. Paste. Okay, it was completed. So Prometheus will scrap node exporter data from virtual machine 1 and container data using cAdvisor from virtual machine 1. So this is the virtual machine 2 configuration. So this is the virtual machine 2 IP and node exporter is running on port 9100. So this is my virtual machine 2 IP and my cAdvisor is running on port 8080. So before saving this file, I will show you one thing. I will open this prometheus.yaml file, sorry, Prometheus dashboard, and in status in targets you can see currently it is showing only the local target which is Prometheus one. So now if I save this file, let's save this escape shift colon wq, escape shift colon wq. Okay, once let's do cat guys and let's see the content, it is in the proper format or not. So okay, our Prometheus in Prometheus.yaml file, the scrap configuration is in the proper format. So now once let's restart our Prometheus. So sudo systemctl restart Prometheus and let's see the status of our Prometheus. Sudo systemctl status Prometheus. Okay, my Prometheus is in up and running and it is in enable state. Okay, so now let's see whether Prometheus is scraping all the data from node exporter and cAdvisor or not. So here you can see, let's refresh this. So here you can see now it was showing the four targets. So here you can see cAdvisor virtual machine 1. So in virtual machine 1 we are running cAdvisor Docker container, right? So using that Docker container it was Prometheus is scrapping all the metrics related to Docker containers, and this is the cAdvisor virtual machine 2 in node exporter virtual machine 1. So using this node exporter, Prometheus is collecting all the metrics related to virtual machine 1 like CPU information, memory information, and everything guys, everything. And this is the virtual machine 2 node exporter 1. So in targets, you need to see like this, and here you can see you need to see one by one up and running. Okay. So now what we are going to do is like let's go to Grafana and we are going to scrap our metrics to Grafana. Okay. So now let's go to directly Grafana and let's directly select here home, and here you can see I'm telling you from scratch again, once again from Grafana. Directly select your connections and here Prometheus. So in this video, we are going to use data source as a Prometheus, right? So that's where I'm going to select Prometheus. And here you need to select add new data source. So you can see data source has been added. So here you need to give the Prometheus server URL from where your Prometheus is running. So my Prometheus is running on this IP. I'll copy this and I'll paste it here and I'll remove slash at the end and I'll come down and save and test. Okay, so here you can see successfully queried with the Prometheus API. That means it was successfully querying with the Prometheus API, guys. Okay, so now come up and directly select here build a dashboard. And here you can find different types of options like add visualization. You can add your own visualizations and you can import panels and you can import dashboards. So in this video, I'm going to import the custom dashboards. Okay, directly I'm going to select here import dashboard, and here we need to give the uh, that means IDs, guys. So here you can see using node exporter, we are going to track all the virtual machine metrics like CPU information, RAM, how much memory we have, how much file system we have, how much network is going, how much network is coming, like that. Prometheus is scraping all the data from node exporter. So now Grafana will scrap all the metrics from Prometheus. So we have the famous dashboard number, guys. I will show you that dashboard. Let's come here. So the dashboard number is 1860, and directly select your load and come down. So here you can see name Prometheus exporter full. So here Prometheus. So here you need to select data source as a Prometheus one and directly select your import. So here I'm going to select for last 5 minutes and I'm going to collect for every 5 seconds. And here data source I'm going to select Prometheus one. And here you can see I'm going to monitor for my virtual machine one. So now here you can see continuously it is monitoring for every 5 seconds, guys. For every 5 seconds it was loading. Here you can see now it is loaded. So here you can see if I want to monitor for my virtual machine one, here I'm going to select my node exporter virtual machine one. So here you can see my node exporter is running on port my virtual machine port at last is my virtual machine one external IP is 34.41.121.19. So here you can see 34.41.121.19. So this is my virtual machine one. So my node export is running on port 9100. So in Prometheus.aml file, in scrap configuration, we have given same like this. So that's why it was taking Prometheus is scrapping all the metrics from node exporter and Grafana is scrapping all the metrics from Prometheus. Okay. So if you want to monitor for virtual machine 2, you can directly select here virtual machine 2. IP will be automatically changed, guys. Here you can say at last 104.155.183.66. 104.155.183.66. So this is the virtual machine 2. So now using node exporter, Prometheus is collecting all the metrics using using node exporter. Prometheus is collecting all the metrics and Grafana is grabbing all the metrics from Prometheus of our virtual machine 2. Okay. So here you can see this is the virtual machine 2 metrics. So now if you want to monitor your Docker containers and you need to, we have cAdvisor, right? So now I will show you that. Directly select your dashboards and new dashboard, and we have one another cAdvisor dashboard like import dashboard, and the thing is 18798, guys, 15798. So this is the ID. Directly select your load, and here you can see Docker monitoring. So here again I'm going to use as Prometheus as a data source and import. So from Prometheus, Grafana is grabbing all the data. Okay. So here you can see totally 7 Docker containers are running. So if you want to monitor only for virtual machine 1, you can directly select here cAdvisor virtual machine 1. So here why it was showing cAdvisor virtual machine 1 means, so here you can see C cAdvisor VM1. So in Prometheus.aml file, we have written scrap configuration, right? So that scrap configuration, that Prometheus is scrapping all the metrics from this cAdvisor, guys. Okay. Prometheus is scraping all the data from cAdvisor, and from Prometheus, Grafana is scraping all the data. Okay, let's come here and let's select this. And here, let's select host has, okay, this IP. Okay, so here you can see my virtual machine 1 IP is 34.41.121.19. Okay, here you can see 34.41.121.19. So cAdvisor is collecting all the metrics of our so in this diagram I'll explain you. Okay, cAdvisor is collecting all the metrics of our Docker containers, and using Prometheus we are going to scrap all the data from cAdvisor, and Grafana is scrapping all the data from Prometheus. Okay, so this is the flow. Let's come here and let's keep for every 5 minutes and for every 5 seconds. Okay, so here you can see totally 3 Docker containers are running in virtual machine 1. So let's check how many Docker containers are running. So here you can see this is my Docker virtual machine 1. Okay, so now when I select here Docker ps-a, so here you can see 3 Docker containers are running. So in virtual machine 2, when I select here Docker ps-a, 4 Docker containers are running. Okay, so let's directly select here virtual machine 2 cAdvisor VM2. Automatically IP will be changed, guys. So here host, let's select this IP. Okay, so here you can see 104.55.183.66. So here you can see 104.55.183.66. That means this is our virtual machine 2 cAdvisor. So in this virtual machine 2, currently we are running 4 Docker containers. Okay, so here you can see these are the 4 different Docker containers. Okay, so same here it was displaying, guys. So here you can see 4 Docker containers are running. This is the container memory usage, and this is the total memory usage. Container CPU usage is this, and this is it comes with 2 CPUs. Okay, same like this you can monitor each and everything. So now let's do some experiments. Let's enter into this node exporter. So this node exporter, again I'm telling you, here you can see this node exporter will collect all the metrics related to our virtual machine, guys, like CPU information, memory information, RAM, file system, storage, how much network is going, how much network is coming, like that. So I will show you that everything. So here you can see, so for every 5 minutes and for every 5 seconds. Okay, default as a Prometheus, and I'm going to monitor for virtual machine 1. Okay, so here you can see this is the CPU busy, and this is the system load, and this is the RAM used, and this is the root file system and everything. So if you want to see the storage disk, you can directly drop down this and you can see this storage disk. And if you want to see the storage file system, you can directly see here this storage file system and everything. Okay, okay, so this is the file system information of our virtual machine 1. So same like this you can monitor each and everything, guys. Okay, so here you can see system things, and you can monitor everything: CPU, memory, network, and disk. You can see here that this is the CPU, and this is the memory stack, and this is the network traffic, and this is the disk space usage and everything. You can monitor each and everything uh, in this Grafana, guys. Okay, so in this architecture you can see node exporter is collecting all the metrics of our virtual machine, and it is sending to Prometheus. That means in prometheus.yaml file we have written scrap configuration, right? That in that scrap configuration, Prometheus is scrapping the data from node exporter and from cAdvisor, and Grafana is scrapping all the metrics from Prometheus. Okay, and at last you can see same like this. Okay, so this is the matrix related to our virtual machine 1, and this is the matrix related to our virtual machine 2. Okay, so these are the virtual machine metrics related to our virtual machine 2. So if you want to monitor your Docker containers, you can directly select your dashboards and directly select your Docker monitoring, and here to- in both virtual machines totally 7 Docker containers are running. If you want to monitor only virtual machine 1, so then here you need to select cAdvisor virtual machine 1, and here in host I'm going to select this IP. So this is the virtual machine 1 IP. In virtual machine 1 totally 3 Docker containers are running. So here you can see Docker ps-a, 3 Docker containers are running. In virtual machine 2, let's check Docker ps-a. 4 Docker containers are running. Okay, so let's select here cAdvisor virtual machine 2. So here you can see 4 Docker containers are running. Okay, so you can see 4 Docker containers are running. So this is how you can monitor your virtual machine metrics and Docker containers metrics using node exporter and cAdvisor. And using that node exporter and cAdvisor, Prometheus will scrap all the data, and from Prometheus Grafana will scrap all the data. So this is the entire setup, guys. So now let's do a small experiment. Let's select here dashboards, and let's select here node exporter, and here let's select Prometheus 1, and we need for every 5 minutes, for every 5 seconds. Okay, so currently we are in virtual machine 1, so that means currently we are going to monitor our metrics of our virtual machine 1. So here you can see 34.41.121.19. Here you can see 34.41.121.19. This is the virtual machine 1. So let's connect to this virtual machine and let's increase the CPU utilization. So currently here you can see currently CPU utilization is 3.1%, right? So let's increase the CPU utilization. So let's come here. So here you can see this is the Docker VM 1. So when I select here top command, so here you can see currently CPU utilization is 3.7%, and here you can see 2.3% continuously it was monitoring. So in Grafana, let's see what it was showing. It was showing 2.9%. Okay. So now let's increase CPU utilization for our virtual machine 1. Let's clear the screen. So there is a command to increase yes greater than slash dev slash null and enter. Sorry, yes greater than slash dev slash null. So this will increase the CPU utilization of our virtual machine 1. Okay. So here you can see gradually this CPU utilization and system load will be increased, guys, within some time. So here you can see 13.1. It is increasing. So you can see system load is 8.5. Continuously it will increase, guys. Just observe this. So when I select here virtual machine 2, it will not increase, guys. So here you can see for virtual machine 2 currently it is 3.3%. So let's select here virtual machine 2 and let's select here top. So here you can see for virtual machine 2 currently CPU utilization is 2.3%. So that's why here it was showing 3.5% for virtual machine 2. So when I select here virtual machine 1, so here you can see gradually it is increasing 46.5. So now here you can see system load 25.0. Now I think you can understand how Prometheus is collecting all the metrics from node exporter and how Grafana is grabbing all the metrics from this Prometheus. Okay, so here you can see gradually it is increasing. So this is the virtual machine 1. Virtual machine 1 IP is 34.41.121.19. So here you can see 34.41.121.19. So in this virtual machine, using this command, we increase the CPU utilization. So now you can understand this is exactly working fine, guys. So here you can see currently CPU utilization is 52.7 and system load is 48.5. So continuously it will increase, guys. Okay. So in this architecture, you can see node exporter is collecting all the metrics of our virtual machine. Okay. So Prometheus is scrapping all the metrics from node exporter and Grafana is scrapping all the metrics from Prometheus. Okay. So here you can see our node exporter is also working fine. So here you can see continuously it is monitoring. So this is how you can monitor, guys. So currently CPU utilization is 52.9 and system load is 49.5. Okay. Continuously it was monitoring. So I will keep a time lapse here for 2 to 3 minutes. Then you can understand how it is going to increase. Okay. So this is how you can monitor your CPU utilizations, memory utilizations, and file systems, how much network is going, how much network is coming for your two virtual machines. Okay. So this is how you can continuously monitor. So here you can see currently for virtual machine 2, this is the CPU utilization. For virtual machine 1, so this is the CPU utilization. So I increased CPU utilization using this command, right? So that's why it was continuously increasing, guys. Okay. So, and yes, that's it for today's video. So after completing your video, try to terminate this each and everything, guys. Okay. Try to terminate these three virtual machines. Okay, so this is how you can continuously monitor your virtual machines and Docker containers using Prometheus and Grafana, and you can collect all the metrics using Node Exporter as well as cAdvisor. Okay, so I will provide you all this complete documentation in a Medium blog. Okay, so there you can find all the documentations. And yes, that's it for today's video. And let's delete these three virtual machines, guys. Okay, I'm going to select these three virtual machines, and here I'm going to select delete and delete. So now this will not work, guys. It will stop gradually, it will stop, guys. So let's wait, because we are going to terminate these three virtual machines, right? So that's why this Prometheus will not work and Grafana also will not work. So here you can see it was loading, but this will not work. So let's refresh this. So let's wait, it is going to delete. So same you can implement on AWS cloud or Azure. You can implement wherever you want, guys. So here you can see dashboard not found, it is failed. Okay, so let's remove this and let's remove this. Let's come here and let's reload this. So same you can implement on AWS, or else you can implement on Azure, wherever it may be. So in future videos I'm going to explain you how to create a Kubernetes clusters in Google Cloud and everything. At that point of time I will explain you how to monitor your Google Kubernetes cluster using Prometheus and Grafana, guys. Okay, so this is the one for that. So I will show you, just a second, guys, it was loading. So here you can see, so this is the architecture for that. So we are going to monitor our Google Kubernetes cluster using Prometheus and Grafana, guys. So there we are using Helm. Using Helm, we are going to set up everything. Okay. So uh, wait for that videos. Okay. So and yes, that's it for today's video. And if you like my video, please do like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. And see you in the next video. And bye.